So for today's assignment, which is assignment number 11, we're going to start off with radical equations level 1. So that's this category. Okay, so we're going to solve for x. That's what the instructions say, so that's what we're going to do. So our first step is to want to isolate the square root by itself. So right now the square root there's a plus 11 next to it. So I'm going to subtract 11 from both sides. That leaves me with square root of 5x minus 9 equals 6 on the other side. So all I did was bring the plus 11, to the other side by subtracting 11 from both sides. And I do that so that the square root can be by itself. And so you might wonder, why do I want the square root by itself? Well, so that I can square both sides, or square everything, I guess I should say, since you're squaring both sides, then that helps to get rid of the square root. So if you're squaring the square root, you just end up with, I'm going to rewrite it over here, 5x minus 9 equals 36. All right, so far, are there any questions? Okay, so it didn't sound like we have questions. Let's continue to solve. I'm going to add 9 on both sides. Get 5x equals 36 plus 9 is 45. Then you just divide by 5. And then you get x equals 9. And that's it. So we got x equals 9. I'm going to pause the video here, see if you guys have any questions. All right, enter this in. And I don't think you have to write x equals. I'm just going to put 9. Okay, so yeah, you don't need to put x equals. Let's do another example. So once again, let's start by isolating the square root. So isolate the square root is the first step. That means we're going to add 9 to both sides. We get that the square root of 6x plus 46 is equal to 2. And then now that our square root is isolated, we can square everything, which brings us to 6x plus 46 equals 4. So we squared everything. So the square root cancels out with the squared. So I just write the inside, so the 6x plus 46. And then 2 gets squared to be 4. Then we can subtract 46. And then that gives us 6x is equal to negative 42. And then you can divide by 6, and x equals negative 7. Any questions on this one? I'm going to pause the video. Okay, so I'm going to enter in negative 7 into Delta Math. All right, let's do another one. Okay, so once again, let's isolate the square root. And so we're going to do that by subtracting 13. That gives us square root of 5x minus 9. And that gives us 1. And then now that we have our square root all isolated, we can square everything, which brings us to 5x minus 9 equals 1 squared is just 1. So I'm just going to write 1 again. And then we just solve for x from here like a normal linear equation. So you add 9 on both sides. You get 5x equals 10. Divide by 5 on both sides, of course. And you get x is equal to 2. Any questions on this one? All right, let's go ahead and enter this in. 2. And submit. Okay, so that was 3 examples for this category, and since you guys didn't seem to have any questions for it, I think that's enough examples, so I'm going to go on to the next video.